Um, yeah, so sorry for the delay. Yep. Actually, for today, we have like one of the things which I wanted to share was majorly about the stuff which we were working on in like this last weeks. So, as I told that I would be sharing about the stuff about the community architecture and technical architecture, but then Ronit told me that I should share the technical architecture when everyone would be there. So I would be sharing it in the next week, which would be three. For today, I would be sharing the stuff which we did pivoted some of the stuff. We decided the future roadmap which we would be working on. So for today, I would be sharing those stuff. And for today, I won't take more time as like you all would be busy. So I would be completing in 15-20 minutes. And like for today's meet, it would be done. So starting with the code of conduct, this slides does not contain any commercial advertisement. Everything is considered to be as an example. And the privacy policies and terms of use are present here. As I told, today's meet, I would be sharing about the future plan which we made, which is actually now finalized. We were actually earlier confused about which features we want and which feature we don't want. So we have completely made a whole roadmap. So that roadmap only we would be following for our further Q1 of 2026 and so on. Starting with first thing, rather than showing you the whole PPT, I would be explaining stuff in a simple way. We would be having two code base. There would be a community edition and an enterprise edition. There are two editions, community and enterprise edition. Community edition would serve as a base edition for the enterprise edition. So what I mean by base edition is like we would have a complete code base which would have every feature one would require to run it successfully. That would be completely in community edition. And for the stuff which are add-ons on the community edition, like some of the premium features would be developed under enterprise edition, and our code base would be simply handled as there would be a community edition code base in which we would add the sub modules. Like if you can see the Git sub modules concept, so we would use the Git's sub module concept to add the sub modules from different repository into it. So those who are under the alveoli company would be getting access to that part. For the host contributing to the open source version would be easily given access to the community version on the repository, which is currently it is on the LFDT's page. So what we are planning to make further is like, as you all know that we were building a platform where it would help people to onboard easily and do stuff easily. So what we at the summit discussed with the people, and people gave us like people gave us some feedback which we discussed among the maintainers and thought to pivot some of the idea. That was we would majorly focus now on a complete mechanism which would help us to get market intelligence to a Git based signals. So what I meant from that would be like instead of showing this whole stuff, I would just show the main stuff here. So as I told, we would be targeting to change the market intelligence to Git intelligence. What I meant from that was that what we will do is like we will completely watch everything is like we will be doing a real-time monitoring over GitHub, Reddit, X, Discord, every social platform which we would be integrating one by one, and it would be tracking on the product of the company itself. So earlier we were developer focused. So what do I mean by developer focused was like if there is an individual who wants to open GitMesh, then the platform which would open would be as a developer based dashboard, instead of which we are now working on. a tenant-based mechanism, which means, as you know, the Slack or Discord, we do have workspaces. In the workspaces, people can use it for individually and for teams also, for both. So we would be working on a tenant mechanism now. So what we will do is like for any kind of company or any particular idea or product, there would be some keywords tracked on all the social platforms, and it would be tracking the product's detail. It would be also tracking the competitors' detail. So if, for example, assuming that I am building Cursor, it's just an example. If I am building Cursor, so this model would be keeping a watch on Cursor as well as Lovable and like other stuff like Copilot and other stuff. And it would also see the categories trend wise. Like if currently IDs are going on trend, then it would be also watching over that trends of all the social networks. And from that thousands of signal, what do I mean is like anything that can be used as in data to develop something in future. So what exactly I mean is like when you see someone commenting on Reddit that cursor has X feature, instead of X feature, it should have that Y feature because this is kind of buggy or like there is some issue in that. So what it would do is like it would gather the feedback. It would do a sentiment analysis whether it is a positive or negative. If it's negative or is if it's positive, then it would get the extraction of intent from it. From intent I meant stuff like whether they want a new feature or they are like talking about some bug or they are talking about something that our competitor has built, which is currently getting viral in the market, and that we should also build. Is like there was a concept of checkpoint and Copilot, which earlier Cursor brought. So when Cursor brought after 1 2 months, other companies like Copilot, Windsurf also brought the checkpoint mechanism in their whole code base like writing mechanism. So it would be also looking on those stuff and would be telling you it would be processing those stuff for every customer. It would be looking over all the details from the market, fetching every detail from different platforms and gathering whole stuff into a funnel which would collect market signals in a complete database. So first we have a complete database of market signals ready now. Then what will we do is like there would be a second mechanism working together. That second mechanism is based on the developer side, which means if we are the team, like assuming that we are a team of 7 people, four of the contributors and three of the maintainers. So it would be looking after who is contributing to what part, who has more impact on the system based on the system's priority, not based on whether Rust is more difficult than C, or it would be not on that basis. It would be completely on that basis that what the product wants to give value from it. So based on the value part, it would be like ranking the developers accordingly, and which developer has what like pros or cons in it. It would be tracking whole stuff. So based on that, what it would do is like it would collect whole developers data in another funnel, which would be tracking on the product roadmap, like what developers are building right now. As what we were doing earlier, like we were tracking about the developers data and everything. So it would be like tracking on that developer funnel of a company. We were earlier focusing only on open source. Now we are focusing on every dev based company who do have a software they want to serve as an service like the SaaS thing. So if there is anyone who wants to give something as SaaS, then they can what they can do is like they can track the whole development part in this second funnel. So from this first funnel of market intelligence and the second funnel of developers insight, what we will do is like we will create a third complete cross funnel based from both of the data. We would be deciding what are the new features which need to be implemented, or what are the bugs which people are reporting right now, or anything which can be developed in future. It means like it simply means what developers should build next. So we would be focusing on that. Based on that, it would be creating milestones and issues, and based on that milestone and issue, it would be auto ranking the stuff and would be allotting a work to so and so developer from that same company. So what it would do is like it would first collect the data, it would then rank on what matters most. It's like the security problems matters the most. So what it would do is like it would classify it as more weighted. So based on the source code creditability, frequency, ICP match, and urgency, it would be giving the feature as feature request or bug or praise, or just it is a noise. Like people are just trying to spam something on the network. So it would be collecting that, and based on that, it would be ranking the system as webhooks are required, and it was mentioned 73 times this month. 12 of our paying customer were there from that 73 mentions, and three of our competitors lack it. So this means this is a high priority thing, because if our competitor lacks some feature and people want that feature, then we would be prioritizing this feature over other features. So based on that, we would be creating a git signals. What does git signals means? Instead of creating reports, we would be creating auto creating ranks GitHub issues with context. So it would be giving build webhooks requested by 73 people and ICP match as 85%, and our competitor likes it. So it would then map the team's capacity. So assuming that Sarah is an expert of API, and she has an accuracy of 60% capacity from a sprint. A sprint means companies does a sprint. So if we have 100 issues, then who are completing most of the issues is type of a sprint. So Sarah has expertise on API, and she has 60% sprint capacity. So she would be given this issue, she would be assigned on this issue automatically, and she would be starting working on it. And the whole stuff would be context aware among the team. So it would be working as this. So this was the thing which I wanted to share majorly, that we are gonna build this. We have completely made whole roadmap, and we have even completed the first part from it, and we are currently building the second part. Till next week, we would be trying to complete some of the part and would be completely uploading the whole code on the LFDT site, so that you all can start contributing from 3rd of December again. Like you can start with it. So as I told, we are building brains behind what developer companies want to build next. It would do signal monitoring from the market, intent classification, priority ranking, then it would do competitive analysis, and then it would do is like a Git automation. It would create issues, it would create CI/CD pipelines for it, and then it would do is like it would route the work amongst the team, and then decide what features are more necessary for that particular company. So it would do a work of a technical product manager, a person who has a technical expertise, but it's working as a product manager for the companies who has raised Series A round to Series D round. Means a companies with less than 200 employees, which are currently more popular, as you know, like Cursor have team of 30, and Telegram has team of 30. So currently people are focusing on small teams with big impacts. So for them, we are serving this. They won't be want to hire a PM. Instead, they can use Gitmesh for it. For the Q1 roadmap, we will be focusing on the system of patterns and algorithm behind the prioritizing things. It would be also doing a ranking algorithm, which we are working on, and a team capacity routing based on who from which team is working on what part. So it would be tracking those stuff. So those would be our all priority for the roadmap part. As I told, we would be doing this stuff. Why we want communities like for testing ground, keep us honest and sustainable model for people. So we would be doing majority of the part as an open source part in the GitMesh version. So this was what we are planning to build. Also, other than that, I wanted to share just a calendar of what we were doing throughout the calendar. So we just found out the problem which we faced in July. Then in August, the idea of GitMesh sparked. Then we started planning and then started writing code. We released first version. Then we became official lab. Then we became the like we did the global session of GitMesh LFDT. Then after going to the Korea, we realized some of the stuff need a pivot for the future roadmap. So we did it, and then we had our version 2. And before going to the summit of Japan, we will be catering over the some of the roadmap features so that we can get more feedback from the Japan event. And after once the Japan event is completed, we were also talking with Antler, which is a global accelerator. So mostly we are selected in the Antlers next round. So we would be raising 4 CR in January. Most probably like 90% we would be raising it. So that's also on our way. Also, as you know, we are selected for the GitHub Open Source Friday in Feb. So this was the whole thing which we achieved in this stuff. We know that we haven't achieved a stable version yet, but we would try to achieve it till December end or early January. So our main goal in quarter 1 of 2026 would be to launch a complete stable product in the market so that we can gain paying customers and we can even like start like increasing our developers base. So this was what I needed to share for today. The technical and community architecture would be shared in the next meet when Ronit and Per would be there. For today, I have shared the part which we would be working on next. We have already made the code ready, but we are fixing some of the bugs and it would be available till next week on the LFDT's repository. So now, yeah, I know like I have told much many stuff. So if you have any particular doubt or something which might bother in this stuff, you can like just speak up right. Yeah, and also thank you for joining as like you do have your exams. So like I also appreciate that you are like currently joining and because of you are like obviously Anubhav, you are like continuously with us. So what we are planning to add you in the community architecture, which we would be sharing next week. So most probably we would be adding you in the like our own community architecture to build the Gitmesh few like furthermore, and it would be based on mostly on the voting basis. So it won't be like that. If we three are maintainers, then we three would be continuing maintaining the project. If someone follows up more than what we do, that would be given more priority and would be given a maintainers or sub maintainer category, which would be building the roadmap of the product within our core team. So, yep, if you have any doubt or something, you can just speak up right now.
Thank you for the opportunity, sir. I don't have any doubt for this. Uh,
Yeah, so like it's not like no problem. So I know like I'm currently in like I have came to the college. I'm currently in college only. So whenever like your exams get over or like when you get free, we would be discussing the whole roadmap in physically, like we would be sharing the whole roadmap and the code base which we were working on. Actually, the code base which we were working on, we are working nearly. like 14, 15 hours. So we have wrote much more code, which was there in the repository. So I guess it would be a quite big change, but we were working on that to make it more stable. Now all the versions are working on Docker and Kubernetes. So some of the stuff would be bothering, but in the new the new platform which we would be pushing it on the code base would require many security things, as it covers some of the stuff like payment mechanism and some other stuff like tenant distribution of data. So one person's data should not be shared with the another person's data. So we would require some of the security stuff in that. So I would be sharing the roadmap and code base till next. So would love to then get contributions from you guys. So that's all for today's meet. You can study whatever your exam is, and all the best for your exams in this week.
Thank you, sir.
So would love to meet in next meet and would be sharing everything in next week.
Okay.
Okay.